Now, for a lot of people, it would have meant that that person would never have built a strong working relationship with the other, or it would have taken a long time. For Trent, it took about 5 minutes. After I won, he called me and congratulated me and explained that my opponent was a former colleague of his and a friend, and he felt loyalty and affection of the person. But the past was the past and the future was the future, and he wanted to build that same friendship and sense of loyalty with me. And so that was that. And it wasn't just words. He put that into action and made it perfectly clear from the beginning that he was sincere. And that's Trent. That's probably the first and one of the most important lessons he imparted to me. I'll always feel privileged to have learned other lessons in two particular settings. One, I was honored to be asked to join his whip team over the last couple of years. And I did so, and I've learned an enormous amount as a member of that team. I'll always remember his really being very forthcoming and asking me for advice and ideas and what I thought about this or that, and all the while paying compliments about my insight into things. I'll remember it not because any of those nice compliments were true, but because it really showed his spirit and also his effectiveness at including people, getting the best out of them, and bringing folks together. As a member of his whip team, I'll also always remember and appreciate his taking me under his wing and trying to help me develop relationships and friendships with other senators more, and as he would put it, be able to schmooze more effectively. I just hope, Trent, that you continue your work with me as you join the private sector, because obviously we still have a long way to go, but I appreciate the spirit of that work. The second setting that's so important in terms of my personal experience with Trent is, of course, the experience of Katrina and dealing with that horrible hurricane. There couldn't have been a better ally in terms of our recovery work than Trent and Thad. And I'll always be deeply indebted to them for all of their work on behalf of the entire Gulf Coast. You know, in South Louisiana, occasionally in the press there'd be some story or some comment resentful toward Mississippi in terms of the recovery, saying they got this per capita and we got this, we didn't do well enough. And I would always explain that, boy, they got it exactly wrong, because our best allies throughout all of that horrible experience were Trent and Thad. And were it not for them, we would not have fared nearly as well. And I'll be the first to admit that. And I thank them on behalf of my state for their tireless efforts on behalf of the entire Gulf Coast. So Trent, I join everyone here in wishing you and Tricia and your family all the best. You do deserve it. I know this is not the end of anything, it's the beginning of new great things. And I look forward to our continuing tutorials on schmoozing and maybe even getting me to wear a seersucker suit someday. I yield the floor.
Mr. President.
Senator from Georgia.
Mr. President, those of us who come from the South take great pride in our heritage. And part of the heritage that we are very proud of is the fact that whether it's the state of Mississippi that sent John Stennis and Senator Eastland to this body, or whether it's my state that sent Richard Russell and Paul Coverdale and Sam Nunn, we're very proud of the folks that we have sent to the United States Senate. And come January, we're going to add the name of Trent Lott to those great men who have represented the South in this body. When I think of Trent Lott, I think about something that a lot of people here probably can't relate to, but he and Thad will directly relate to it. Trent is the epitome of the genteel Southern gentleman, married to a beautiful belle that he went to college with. In the fall in Oxford, Mississippi, there's a special occasion that takes place on football Saturday afternoons. They have a place down there called the Grove that is unlike any other area I've ever been to on any football afternoon. The Grove is just what you might think. It's truly a beautiful spot with trees and green grass, and all of the University of Mississippi football fans gather in the Grove, and instead of backing up SUVs and pickup trucks with beer kegs on the back like we do